The video analyzed JB Hi-Fi's annual report for a retailer of consumer electronics and home appliances in Australia and New Zealand. This video further explains the difference between the company's profit and loss and the statement of comprehensive income, stating whether the items in other comprehensive incomes can be classified as extraordinary or non-recurring. A company's annual reports plays an important role of providing information to the user which used for decision-making.
According to IBIS World 2017, JB Hi-Fi's primary activity are retailing and sales of home consumer products in Australia and New Zealand, with over 180 outlets. It trades under two names, namely JB Hi-Fi and JB Hi-Fi Home. It mainly operates the brick and mortar stores, which sells consumer electronics, GPS and car audio, computer and games, mobile phones and accessories and so on. It also has an online store, and its commercial division sells electronics and telecommunication equipment. According to the Bank of Canada, BCD 2018, financial performance of a company can be evaluated by use of financial ratio and the four categories. First, liquidity ratio. This tells us whether a business is able to meet its short-term obligation when they are due. Here we have used the carry ratio to analyze the performance of JB Hi-Fi. In the first table, it shows us the carry ratio has decreased from 1.57 in 2015 to 1.32 in 2016. Second, efficiency ratio. The ratio indicates whether the management of a company effectively utilizing the assets of a company to generate sales. Here we use the inventory turnover ratio to analyze the efficiency of JB Hi-Fi. From the second table, we can know that the inventory turnover ratio has remained relatively constant, only a slight increase of 0.22 in 2017. This indicates an improvement in the efficiency of the management. Third, profitability ratio. This ratio determines whether the company is generating enough revenue and managing costs to have a residual income. Here we use the net profit margin to evaluate the profitability of the group. This table tells us the profitability of the company has slightly declined from 3.8% in 2016 to 3.1% in 2017. Finally, leverage ratio. This indicates the way of the company is financed either through debt or equity. Here we use the debt to the equity ratio to evaluate how the company is leveraged.
JB Hi-Fi is aware of sustainability reporting, which requires business to assess the impact of their operations in three main areas, namely economically, socially, and environmentally. White defines sustainability as conducting operations in a manner that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their needs. In its social statement, the group has indicated that it recognizes the importance of being socially responsible and tries to work with employees, suppliers, and customers to give back to the community under the following programs. In 2016 to 17, JB Hi-Fi's workplace giving program Helping Hand. This program facilitates donations from employees, executives, and directors to charitable organizations. JB Hi-Fi also contributes to an equivalent amount to what is contributed by those people to the charitable organization. The group also partners with Australia Charity Fund to develop and maintain the program. The Helping Hand program is found in both Australia and New Zealand countries. Through the Giving Hand Australia, the company has managed to donate a total of $2.1 million in the current financial year. Charity organizations through which the group make contributions include Bush Heritage Australia, Sunrise Children's Village, and so on. In New Zealand, the charity organizations that partner with JB Hi-Fi include Shelter Box, Forest and Bird, Kenneth Gift, and Youngless and Blanket. This has seen the program giving $88,000 in the 2016-17. JB Hi-Fi is confident that through the business and employee contributions to charitable organizations, it is making a notable social impact to the community. In 2015-16, the company, through its Helping Hand program, raising $1.8 million in Australia and $65,000 in New Zealand. The Change for Changing program in Australia in the 2015-16 has contributed over $50,000 in Australia and $25,000 in New Zealand. Since inception of the program, the group has contributed $50,000 to the Employee Leadership Group program.
The profit and loss and total comprehensive income for both 2015-16 and 2016-17 are different. The difference arises from other items that may be reclassified subsequently to profit and loss. The two items recorded under other comprehensive incomes are changes in the fair value of cash flow hedges and exchange difference on translation of foreign operations. The total comprehensive income is composed of profit for the year and other comprehensive income. Profit and loss shows the profit made by the group by conducting the normal business operations. This includes matching of revenues and expenses arising from operations. According to our judgment, these two items cannot be classified as extraordinary or non-recurring items. This is because they don't fit in the definition of extraordinary items. According to Danny and Whittington, extraordinary items are events and transactions that are distinguished by both their unusual nature and the infrequency of their occurrence. Brett also states that the criteria for an item to qualify as extraordinary is if its occurrence is infrequent and the item is unusual in nature. An event is considered to be infrequent if it is not expected to occur by the management. For an event to be termed unusual, it must not be related to the day-to-day operations of the business. Examples of extraordinary items include a gain in troubled debt restructuring, a gain or loss in extinguishment of the debt, losses due to flood, earthquake or drought, expropriation of assets, among others. Though it is sometimes difficult to distinguish an extraordinary event from a non-recurring one, Hitchner defines a non-recurring event as one whose probability of occurring again is almost zero. Therefore, the gains or losses from translation of foreign operations as well as changes in the fair value of cash flow hedges are not events that can be classified as non-recurring. According to Investopedia, gain or loss in translation of foreign currency often fluctuates, so the events are likely to recur and they happen more often. JB Hi-Fi's items of property, plant, and equipment are measured at cost according to notes to the financial statement number 10, titled Measurement and Recognition. The note says that plant, equipment, and leasehold premises are stated at cost, list accumulated depreciation and impairment, if any. Holgate and Buckley state that GAAP requires an entity to give a true and fair view of the financial position and not a true and fair view. This means that there can be more than one way in which the accounts can give a true and fair view. An example of different ways that can give a true and fair view is subsequent measurement of non-financial fixed assets, which can be stayed at cost or be revalued. According to Sanahuja, entities have a choice whether to use cost model or revaluation model in evaluation of the items of property, plant, and equipment. He also states that in making the choice, companies should weigh the benefits against cost of each model. The major setback when using the fair value model is that an active market for this kind of asset is not always present. Thus, obtaining a fair value may be too costly or may result to inaccurate values. These inaccurate values are less reliable and may negatively affect the capital allowance deductions. Analysis of JB Hi-Fi's annual reports for year 2015-16 and 2016-17 reveals that the group's financial performance was better in 2015-16 compared to 2016-17.
Socially, the group has performed well during the two financial years by taking a part and contributing towards charitable organizations.
The items on the other comprehensive income in both periods do not qualify as either extraordinary or non-recurring transactions. We choose the revaluation model as the best way to value the non-financial fixed assets